Okay, so with the second arm, I've kind of cut it up a little bit in advance. This is going to be our hand, this is going to be our elbow, and this you can see already is going to be the shoulder area. And because of the overlap, I don't want to show a lot of this stuff. It'll look almost like scar tissue if I leave it on as it is. So I'm going to have very little overlap on this end with this hand. It should still work. It's just going to be a little bit of a tight rotation on that as it animates. But because of the scale of how much of this wrist I grabbed, we shouldn't have too much invisible. There's just going to have to be a little stretch done to this arm to make it seem a little more realistic. So unlike this arm that's in a nice position, this one we didn't start with something that's so nice. So let's start by building on the hand. And I'm going to delete off the bits that we don't need. Often these things are called artifacts in the gaming community. So just double click on this, delete that. I'm going to go ahead and turn this right into a symbol. And this is going to be DAV, RT, HND, and it's our point of view, not stage right, but R right. R right is how you typically do this. I know this has like a little bit of a thing I need to grab here so that this overlaps properly. Then I can grab that big chunk and then grab the artifacts or the portions that are not cleanly selected. Trying to do this in a bit of an order. Double click on that, delete that. So now I've got this arm. I know this arm is not the right length, so I'm going to immediately lengthen it a little bit. Now, there's other ways of modeling things in Flash, and I'm going to show you one of them. There's that tool I've been using so far, the Q-Free Transform tool. There's another one under Modify Shape, and no, it's Modify Transform. Modify Shape can allow you to clean up things using something called Stylize or other things, but Modify Transform is going to give us the option of Envelope. Modify Transform Envelope allows us to have this thing that has these additional handlebars. And you'll see here I can kind of beef up an area that I feel is lacking. I can do the same thing here. I can also kind of click on these individually and pull them out, and you see that I start getting these handlebars, just like in Illustrator. But now I've kind of made this have more rounded off ends. So that, again, is Modify, Transform, Envelope. I'm going to finish up my stuff here. I have a little bit of a crash, so that might be the end of that. Alrighty, luckily we can continue. So I'm just going to grab this real fast, select it, and convert that to a symbol. I'm going to have this be DAV RT ELB001. Going to go ahead and move that to the elbow point. We'll modify these after the fact, but it's important to kind of get them in there. Convert that to a symbol, and this is going to be DAV SHLD001. Keep that a graphic, click OK. Position that, and I'm going to go ahead and set this to show all so that everything fits in frame. And at this point I might as well place this here, place this here, place this where it needs to be. I've already put this arm together properly, so I'm going to go ahead and place this here. Place this head here. Scroll up a little bit. So we've got kind of the upper torso all set. With the legs, I'm only using this one leg. I discussed earlier how the other leg was going to be problematic, how this would work the best for us. So we're going to kind of rig this up. I'm going to go ahead and cut this up into pieces of the thigh, the shin, and the foot. You go ahead and do that on your own, and I will get back to you in the next tutorial.